Hello guys, welcome back to Movie Reviews. Series 9. This is 7 to 12 of Series 9. We talk about the video nasty movies. The movies were abandoned in the UK. Let's get to it. So, we're going to number 7. Tenebrae. Dario Argento, 1982. A realistic version of this classic psycho thriller, Tenebrae tells the gritty tale of an American mystery writer who comes to Rome only to find that somebody is using his novels as inspiration for murder. A gut-wrenching masterpiece from the great Italian horror stylist Dario Argento. The only interesting thing about Tenebrae for me is the soundtrack. I really do love it. I do love it. It's a very interesting interesting thing. It's got like a very... It has some disco elements, of course, something like from the late 70s, a bit of some weird sound effects as well. And, some really creepy little synthesized creepy moments in the score. Favorite track of that is obviously called Lesbos. That it's very poppy, very dancey, and it works well. I just love it. The guitar work, the synthesizers just work, and you have a good beat for going through it. Works well. The film itself, I'm not entirely sure. I think, because originally, if you have that cover there, I think for a censored version, they had a blue ribbon around it instead of this little slit, instead of actually have a slitted throat, very much. But Dario Argento, of course, was actually one of the main producers for Dawn of the Dead, of course, and he just went on to do a few more movies. I think he did Suspiria, didn't he, in '77? But I think Tenebrae is an okay film, to be honest. It's never really hooked me in. The soundtrack has, but maybe itself probably not. So that's brief, very much. That's all I can really say about Tenebrae, very much. Number 8, Contamination. Lucio Gozzi, 1980. A deserted ship arrives in New York City, carrying its slaughtered crew and a horrific cargo, mutant green eggs. The size of footballs that pulsate with life and until the spray, hideous chest burst in death. But when a government research team begins an investigation, they uncover a grisly conspiracy of murder, space monsters, and coffee. That's an interesting summary very much for Contamination. So this film came out a year after when Ridley Scott's Alien actually came out, and it's one of those films that I sort of lumbered with the Alien rip-offs thing very much. I mean, some films, stuff like Galaxy of Terror, Creature, another one which I'll sort of maybe come on to for the last one. It's been lumped into that sort of style. I mean, the only thing that's sort of linked to that sort of alien thing is the eggs and also the chest bursting thing. Well, you don't have an alien popping out someone's chest. You basically have someone's chest explode. They basically combust very much when they come in contact with the eggs. Nothing really interesting about Contamination. All I know, because in in this movie, he appeared in Zombie Flesh Eaters, which we talked about earlier on for the second movie that we did for part 1. Nothing else really. I mean, it's been reissued again on Arrow DVD. You can get it on Blu-ray actually, so fair enough. Consider it's part of all those, again, subgenres, like a movie influenced another, like a bunch of rip-off movies very much, that sort of thing. You take elements of those and see what you can do with them. Of course, in this case, eggs and chest bursting combustion. That's all you really get with this one. A grisly conspiracy of murder, space monsters, and coffee. I think because maybe it's selling the ship very much, so they're selling coffee. I don't know really why, but it's just there. Contamination, not entirely sure. People have reviewed Contamination before, so it's my take. It's brief. That's all I can do. Number 9. Yeah, number 9. Don't Go Near the Park. Lawrence D. Foles. This is from 1981. 12,000 years ago, a brother and sister were condemned to perpetual dying, but never death. In this day of damnation, they roam the earth, feasting on human flesh. Now they have one chance of salvation. A young virgin must be sacrificed in exchange of their souls. Good score and carnage beyond belief. This video nasty has it all. I've never really researched or checked Don't Go Near the Park. Don't go near the park. That's it. I think this is actually the film that I've never really, of all these films, I never really got or understand or researched, actually, to be honest. I've never really, I think, yeah, because, it's just to like sacrifices, virgin sacrifices, that's all. Just to, give these promises of salvation. That's all I can really think. I'm really running dry with this one. nothing else to say about this one, to be honest. I think when it came out, it was just basically just there. That film's getting banned, because of, everything else. And you think, do children really watch this? Don't know. But that's all I could say about this. Sorry. If anyone is a fan of the movie, fair enough. You can, if you like the movie so much, probably you can do a video yourself about it very much. I think for me, I'm not very familiar with this movie at all very much. It's just part of the box set. That's really, some of these films, a couple of these films I'm familiar with in this one. I'm familiar with a few of these ones in this one, in the sole first one. This one offers a bit less. I think there's only about 3 I'm very familiar with. Maybe 2 I'm very less familiar with. So, Don't Get in the Park, no idea. To be honest, it's a blank slate with this one. Number 10, The Witch Who Came from the Sea. Directed by Matt Kimber from 1976. Oh, that's interesting. A young woman's nightmare of incest and castration. Molly has a way of with razors and uses them with devastating effect, cutting men down to size in an effort to revenge herself of her father's sexual perversions. A deeply disturbing creation with an art house feel and truly shocking ending. So we're basically going back to this sort of I Spit Your Grave type movie, very much femme fatale, vigilante, horrible goals, sexual stuff in this movie, anything. But this is before I Spit Your Grave. This is from 76. Although you have a really similar trend with Last House on the Left from 72, which you can see 76. It's like a weird little trilogy, very much. If you slot them films together, they might come out a bit similar, really. Which you came for the sea. It's basically, all I know is it's saying a seaside town, like a harbour town, very much. And it's basically a waitress, like a barmaid or waitress, very much is just going around because of like what she's been traumatized by what's been going on before. I think that's all happened a few times really in films and TV, mainly in novels as well, to be honest. But again, I'm really cold on this one. Same with Don't Go in the Park. I'm really cold on this one. Sorry. There's nothing really to say about that. I'm really sorry. Nothing to say about this one. So, Which You Came from the Sea, 1976, done by Mike Kimber. That's about it, really. That's the only sort of tiny information about that movie. Number 11, Evilspeak. This is directed by Eric Weston from 1981. Not for the faint-hearted. This sick shocker is jam-packed with heart-ripping, head-splitting splatter. It tells the tale of a tormented school nerd who discovers a way of getting his own back on his own tormentors by means of an ancient black magic script and his home computer. Revenge is a dish best served on a bed of entrails. Okay. Evilspeak. It plays out like, it's basically set in a high school, American high school. School nerd gets bullied by a lot of people, maybe teachers, jocks, that sort of thing. And he finds a little cavern somewhere, like a little tiny little chapel. And he discovers the scribe, i.e. filled with black magic. And he sort of uses it as a way to get back, to get back. He gets powers. He gets his deadly magic powers, and of course it all goes haywire, very much. And it's very similar to Carrie in a way, to my opinion. This was 81. Instead of using telekinesis, you have black magic. You just read a few spells, and some guy gets his head blown off. I don't know. Chuck Darlin, who does Walkover Films, actually reviewed Evilspeak, so it's worth really going for that one. He also did Contamination as well, so he did it twice actually, because the second time there was an error release. But Evilspeak, again, it just clearly, reading about it, it kind of reminds me of Carrie in some places, very much, minus the telekinesis, the sort of religious burying mother, if you know what I mean, and it's basically a guy instead of a girl. That's about it, really, to be honest. We will speak, and that's me. And I've really got nothing else. I'm really sorry. This part's really is short and a bit cold as well. However, I've saved the best for last. So number 12, Xtro. So this was banned as well, but it was never included on any box for banned. There was never a box of the band free, very much, sadly. They only ever released these two, very much. I know they released, Vitco released a little, like, DVD collection, of course, and there was another one, like Shameless collection in yellow cases, them sort ones, and I see in shops. I never bought any of them, any of the Vitco or the Shameless things. I never really thought, why do we need them? You know, for people who are horror fanatics, of course. I'm sort of like, I'm a lover of horror, but I don't really think I need a big entire collection of, you know, just maybe a lot of cheap band movies, of course, but it's just, they were just there, really. With Xtro, this is interesting because I know a lot, I've seen the film before. I know about its interesting history, of course. So, Xtro is a British film that came out in 1982, directed by Harry Bromley Davenport, who basically he did a little film called Patrick before, back in the late 70s, and decided to, you know, along with New Line Cinema as backing for, as sort of the main studio he was working for, they decided to just make this little film about family and alien sort of intervention or invasion, very much set in London, which actually works. It's actually a really good film. It has potential and it's very weird at the same time. It's great and weird. You know, there's a lot of interesting balances with this film. The cast, of course, are really good. You have Philip Sayre as Sam, who's the father. He basically, when we first see him, he's playing with his son in the garden. He throws a stick in the air, and strangely enough, the sky turns black, and he gets sadly abducted. 5 years later, he comes back. He's an alien, and the alien in particular, I'm really going to talk about a few bits of and some weird stuff in this one. He goes to his college in the middle of nowhere, and he finds a woman, and weirdly enough impregnates a woman, and she gives birth to a full-grown man, which is weird because that's never really happened in films before. And watching it, it's like, wow. Believe me, and you know, like she's just getting larger and larger, and Philip's here just coming out ears, and you know, chewing his umbilical just to be free. It's like, okay, this is where's this film going? And he's back to his normal self. Although he has some interesting superpowers when he uses the payphone. When he finishes using it, it melts. The payphone actually melts. It burns and just melts with him using it. He kills a couple, steals a car, actually returns, and obviously he's reunited with his son, Tony, and his wife, which is Bernice. I think that's the name of the actress, Bernice. I forgot the name of the character she plays, but he's reunited with her because I haven't seen him for 5 years. Therefore, he's gone away. His son John is played by Simon Nash. Simon Nash, interesting fun fact with him is he is the voice of the character of 10 Cents in Tugs. Believe it or not, I mean, at this point he'd be about 9 or 10, very much. I think at this point, he's in the early 80s, very much. But he's the voice of 10 Cents. I was quite surprised by that, actually. You think, you know, seeing him as a kid in this movie, then seeing him actually doing some voice work for the show, it's like it doesn't fit quite well. I mean, I think it depends what he was going for, really. You know, what his agents, but his actual agent was giving him all whatever. But he's in it, and he's actually an interesting part of the movie because Sam gives him powers very much, and you know, basically bites him on the neck, and you know, and basically gives him like, I don't know, basically gives him some of his like actual alien DNA and implants in his son, and this gives him like weird powers in actually turning his actual toys to life very much, including a little toy spinning wooden clown thing, an actual toy soldier, an actual moving tank that actually shoots real bullets, and for some strange reason, sorry, there's a pigeon flying to my window. Apparently, like there's just like that. Apparently, there's a Black Panther in the movie as well. An actual bloody Black Panther that actually pounces on one of the supporting characters. Believe it or not, that was actually from Robert Shea, the producer of New Line Cinema, Arbiter, of course, went on to produce stuff like for Nightmare on Elm Street, well, the Elm Street franchise very much. But he was sort of like a main critic, a weird critic force in this movie as well. So it's, you know, New Line were, you know, people in New Line were just pouring stuff in. They think, what should we do next? I know, let's have a Black Panther in, you know, and let's have a toy soldier kill an old lady because apparently she mashed up someone's pet snake. Okay, let's have a French au pair or nanny. He's basically just shagging some British guy, very much, you know, when they're out of the house. Okay, very much. That French woman in particular is actually Mariam Abdo, if you know. She played Kara in the Bongo Kara in The Living Daylights in '87. So it's quite, again, it's interesting to see, because I've seen Living Daylights before, Xtro, and you think, it's a baffling, weird thing. You think, well, I've seen him in a Bond movie, and you actually see most of it, a lot of it, very much, you know, me, you know, that sort of thing, in the movie. Again, but she's actually not bad in the movie, of course. I mean, it was one of her early film roles, actually. I'm trying to think of some of, I mean, the old lady itself, the old neighbour was alright, you know, who basically Tony is a bit, I mean, the old lady sort of basically bludgeons him with kisses, very much. And, you know, and it does give Red some herrings, of course, to her demise. When Tony goes downstairs to say goodbye to the old lady, he basically plays with he carries his little toy soldier with him, and he pretends he's shooting at her. When he gets the powers from his dad, he brings the toy soldiers to life, and it goes to her apartment, her flat, and basically hunts her. She hides behind a curtain like you do, like you play hide and seek as a child, and basically stabs her with. You basically have all those little spiky rifle things, like those old-fashioned rifles that they used back in whenever in certain wars, and he basically just punches her to death, really, through a curtain, very much. And how interesting. What else? I think I've really covered all the stuff actually with Xtro. Harry did the score for the music, of course. I mean, he's same as a trained pianist, of course. You're classically trained, and once you listen to it, it's a bit. Are you sure is he lying or is he just messing around on a keyboard? You know, like that sort of thing. But it's alright. It was released on vinyl. It's actually, you know, on iTunes now. The score for Xtro. Fair enough. He did direct two sequels after this as well in the 90s, believe it or not. One in 1990 and one in 95. When he did Xtro 2, he didn't have a job very much. He was out of work, and also you think, why don't we just do this? And boom, you got Xtro 2, and it's like. Okay, but it doesn't really go. It's basically like a military bunker very much, but compared to the very first one, it's got really interesting, good stuff. You know, it's set in London. It's all to do with family very much. You know, the family unit thing is a big part of Xtro. You know, you have the weird stuff and weird sexual stuff as well in between, but it's really to do with the family, of course. Whether it's with Xtro, maybe Xtro 3, it's basically roughly copying, maybe in sort of like copying the, you know, the Alien franchise in a way. Although trying to do it differently, it basically copies. I mean, a lot of cheap films actually do that sort of thing anyway. You know, they basically just, you know, do shot by shot remakes of, you know, maybe Alien or Aliens, to be honest. You know, that sort of stuff. You know, they have a very big, heavily influence on, you know, these cheap rip-offs that you usually get in supermarkets or petrol stations, very much. You know, but some of them have potential, some of them don't. Who knows? But I think the Xtro sequels do not really. Xtro was released. I think it was originally released on VHS, of course. It got banned by the BBC for a very different reason. Unlike you know, unlike Mary Whitehouse and all the other clan, they very much, you know, saying, looking for these films and thinking, that's not good, that's got, you know, like, we don't want that, that's got lost stabbing in, that's got, you know, someone can stab someone's ankle with that one. With Xtro, it was a completely different story, because there was a murder going around in London. That was, and when the police searched his apartment, he had a big shelf of VHSs, very much, not in particular like this, very much, but like high. Apparently, there's a very interesting documentary interview with Harry Davenport, and he said, like, you know, something like this, like the shelf was up high like that, very much, like it was just covered the wall. It was full of VHS tapes, and in the middle, when the police searched out, they zoomed on the middle. And it was Xtro, believe it or not. I don't know if that's just actual story. That was on the 9 o'clock news back in the day. You know, when he was watching, you think, you know, and I don't know if he was happy about that or not. Really don't know. I think he was sort of like, you know, he had some. I think he sort of gained its attention, but then it got banned, and it didn't actually return to come on back to home video until maybe the early 2000s, roughly, or mid 2000s. First came out as a box set with a trilogy, although I think it was actually released in the 90s, I don't know, really. Like a double pack thing, actually, with Xtro 2, I'm not entirely sure. But there was a DVD box that came out mid-2000s, and then it got reissued as a standalone release by Optum Releasing, which is sort of the available one to get. And then just recently, I think about last year or 2 years ago, it got released on Blu-ray by a German company, and they've actually remastered the picture. And actually watching this 4K transfer, which is mind-blowing. The picture quality is actually really good. I mean, those people actually work, those people from Deutschland, my God, really good. Amazing. So Xtro is probably an interesting British film, of course. There's many good British horror films out there. Xtro is one of them, really. It's weird, bizarre, and it has a good use of family in it. I do think, you know, you can look over the 80s-ness of it, of course. I mean, it was like a bit of a low budget film. Well, not really. I think it was like a medium budget film, very much what they were doing. And considering it was like a directorial debut for Harry Bromley Davenport, that is something, and it's worth really giving a watch. I think that's the more effort I put into this video of talking about compared to the previous 5, pretty much. I mean, considering these are considered classics, I've really not much to say about them. With Xtro, it is a cult classic, of course. You know, it's British compared to stuff like it's American or Italian, very much. That's really sort of just came out at that time. But it really stands out, it does. And I think it's a best way to finish off Series 9. Finish off Xtro, which is worth it. That's it. That is Series 9. Thank you for watching. We've got Series 10 to look forward to. The 2-part special, the best and the worst and best movies of all time, in my opinion. You know, 13 very bad movies, 13 very good movies, in my humble opinion. Very good. I don't know when it's going to be. I'll probably have to work that out at some point. But thank you for watching this video. Thanks for watching Series 9. I'm not sure what to do afterwards, but we'll think of something. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you for the next video. Whatever it'll be something totally, it might be the same usual slog I usually give out on this channel, or something totally different. Who knows? Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.